I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and that is just not realistic. I don't know how many times women on this app are going to have to say it. Find an ugly ass man and marry him. And I'm not talking about a guy that just needs a little brush up, okay? I'm talking about a terminally unattractive man.
Years on that.
I sleep with an eye mask at night so that I have time in the morning to mentally prepare before I make eye contact with my husband. But here I am, married, and you're not, so who's laughing?
Dying for the right cause is the most human thing we can do.
What do you mean? Right? Joe.
I do embrace that. I love you.
Welcome, my friends. My name is Antoine Phoenix, and this is my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Tonight's video is going to be about, and they have some music playing nearby, is going to be about a great example of when a woman settles on you. The treatment and the disrespect that you get. I've been trying to hammer this home to men out there. Women will brush this aside. And to further clarify, when a person says you are not their type, especially with women, when they say it, I think it's lethal for men if she's saying that and she's going into detail how you're ugly, you are not what she pictured herself to be with, you are the bottom of the barrel, but yet she choose you, Pikachu, to be with. Now, men will sometimes say this too, because I've said it before, that that woman really wasn't my type, but I tried something different. Now, I say that after the relationship, not during the relationship, and depending on the context, what I mean by that. My type is women that are either athletic, in shape, and, well, the dream woman is the hourglass woman, which, you know, I've never been able to get that one. I've been able to get close, meaning they may have the curve, but maybe they don't have the boob. But I'm not really a boob guy anyway, because most of the women that I know have small boobs. But that's okay. I'm more of a leg guy and hip and ass, but not that sloppy jingling type of butt that supposedly a lot of black men are said to like. It can be firm, it could be small, but just not flat as a table or a board. Okay? But I always think that God has a sense of humor. That if I was to meet a woman that's really attracted to me, that's into me, that treats me the right kind of way, she might have no ass. Okay? And if that is the case, unless if she sees this video or maybe another video that I may say, I will never tell her that I love you, but you just have no ass. I would never tell a woman that I'm in love with and that I decided to go all the way with. Because at that time, she is good enough for me. Okay. But if I have to choose between two women that's both into me, that one is built how I want and the other one's not, I'm going to choose the one that is. Okay. And I'm usually not one of those guys trying to get a woman to like me. If you don't like me, good. That clears time on my schedule. That way I can further weed the women out that may be wasting my time. And I don't want to waste your time as well. So this woman came on the internet and put her husband down. But she married him. Now, I think I know what maybe she meant that in a roundabout good way, but there's no way that would sound good. So I have some other videos from other perspectives or opinions on this video. And first, we're going to go with a video that a woman agrees with this woman. Actually, I have two, but we're going to see that one first.
So you mean to tell me that y'all are bullying this lady on the internet because she says she wasn't attracted to her husband at first? If we're being honest, half of y'all were not attracted to y'all partner at first. Y'all just upset that she got on here and said that. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I grew up in church, so I heard it all the time. Like people who got with these quote unquote pastors and deacons in the church, they'd be like, oh, I wasn't thinking about him. He wasn't my type. He wasn't this X, Y, and Z. If you go online and watch half of the How I Met My Husband videos, most of the time women are on there saying, well, I wasn't really attracted to him at first. I wasn't thinking about him like that at first. You know, y'all just are offended by things that has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with you. If they like it, we should love it. Let's go back to those days. If you like it, I love it. Let that lady be happy. Why are y'all mad? I understand y'all are saying if the roles were reversed and you said it. I understand it, y'all. But what works for other people works for other people. Leave that lady alone. They happy. You can see on her page, she always talking about what she do for her husband because she love that man so much. Y'all just like to make a mountain out of a molehill.
That's interesting. And she brings some more context to this issue right here. Now, she says that the woman praises her husband on her video page, but this seems contradictory with that particular video. She could have said it in a million different ways, but the way that she put that man out there, you will have me thinking that that dude is Quasimodo. And before women get a little, and actually I'm talking to all you with this particular thing, before you get a little with your chest out, don't forget a lot of times men settle on women. And we only ask them for a couple of things. We're usually asking that you're attractive, that you are nice, kind, and that you don't mind cooking us a meal once in a while. Now, these are the decent guys or the guys that want to take care of you. Other guys may have something like, okay, she has to be making this kind of money or she has to be excelling in her sport, whatever she's doing, because I know some guys are like that with their women that almost act like a drill sergeant saying, hey, you better go out there and win that gold medal. It was some guy that I knew that was a boxer, an amateur boxer, and I believe he dated women that were like track stars or something, and he was like really on their ass, at least from what he showed me of how he wanted them to perform. And of course, he was cheating left and right. Anyway, that's another story. A lot of men settle. So earlier, like I say, my dream woman is usually the hourglass woman. Okay, long hair, nice sized boobs, not too big, not too small. The curve in the ass, legs. Okay, decent lips, eyes. Well, all women have eyes, but they have sexy eye color. Okay. I've never been able to get a woman that had all of that. But the thing is, though, I know that's a superficial reason, so I don't get caught up into all of that either. But if that person was to come before me, I would be like, yo, you nailed everything. You nailed everything. Okay. And that's not counting being a kind woman and not being afraid to be affectionate or to bend over backwards for me, as I will bend over backwards for her. Meaning, if I need something, she'll just go do it without me having to twist her arm to do something. Okay. A lot of men settle on a lot of those things because either we are desperate or either we think that's the best that we can get. So we settle on looks and personality. Now, me, I will not settle on personality with the attitude thing. And that means being nasty, disrespectful. And of course, I'll say the person that I married was getting disrespectful, but she did not start out like that. She did a lot of good things in the beginning of the relationship. She made mistakes, but I can tell she put effort in there. Somewhere along the line, toward the middle or so, she started either slacking off. Maybe she started losing feelings, but why didn't she leave? She stayed, and that was before we was locked in together. Okay, she started really showing her ass once we got married, especially a kid. Okay, the things just kept going up and up. So if she was treat me that way at the very beginning of the relationship, I would not have put up with it. Okay. I grew up with how women were acting. And maybe if they had liked me, I might have got accustomed to dealing with that type of behavior. But because they was acting mean and evil and also rejecting me, and the women that was kinder was more being receptive and giving me a chance, that became the personality types that I was going for. Thing is, though, it took me a while to figure out that there are women that will fake or act like a certain kind of way till they get something. Or either they're trying to be a good person, but really at their core, they're not good people, or the people that they are hanging around begins to start influencing. Okay. So I understand what this woman is saying, but and the other thing that she was saying, leave people alone. Everybody is different. Oh no, we are past that point. Okay. Because when a lot of times men and women have a relationship that the woman is basically simping for the man and bending over backwards for him, there will be women that come in and be like, oh, he can get his own drink. Oh, he can get his own food. He should be doing this for you. That type of stuff. And y'all come into the relationship and fuck it all up. Okay. Oh, no, 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 no. So, because those women could not mind their business, and we didn't have women saying that we should let people just be happy, you should have left those people alone that the woman was catering to the man. You should have left it alone. But since you didn't leave that alone, we're not going to leave this alone. On to the next video.
Wait. Okay, so I've been seeing this a lot with Clarence and Queen, but it's genuinely true. Like, you cannot date your type. If you are constantly dating your type and it ain't working out, girl, check them DMs. Look at his picture. If it's like, that's the one. I'm telling you, baby.
2 days. Well, okay. I know sometimes I meet people, usually is not how they look at first, but sometimes I may not like their personality. Sometimes it's people that I cannot stand. It could be in a work environment or either sometimes people, women that I end up dating. And I did not like them at first. And then we got to know each other, we got along, and then things happen. Okay, that I kind of see. Plus, sometimes maybe you catch a person, they're not looking their best, they're not dressed up, or how she says she always was chasing light skinned guys. Now, I do think she does have some good advice in there with the thing with dating a type and noticing is not working. Is not working. Try something different. Thing is though, I've done that. My type is usually the athletic or the shapely voluptuous one. If she's if she can be skinny but not too skinny, she has to have some type of curve to her. But I made exception and dated a woman that was more on the thicker side. Now, she was pretty in the face, thicker than what I usually go for. And by me doing that, we had a beautiful relationship for at least a good 6 to 8 months. We had a very, at least for me, and I think for her, especially toward the 6 month, 8 months, I don't know. Things started because it was a strain on my side because of the relationship with my daughter's mom, and it was some tension there, and my funds was drying up because I had to take care of my responsibilities, and then I know that girlfriend and I, we could not do some of the things that we was doing in the beginning. So okay, but I did have a lot of fun with her, and I have to admit, even though she was not the most attractive woman that I was able to get, she, when she did her disappearing act, it hurt the worst because I didn't think she would do that. And I remember, which, however, though, now I never believe any women now when they say stuff, but I know she say, like, oh, I would never do that to you. I don't see how she let you go. She said a lot of things during the first 3 to 4 months that she ended up doing the same shit as the other one. And I did not see that knife coming. So let her continue.
I done met a roughneck country bumpkin nigga who would do everything for me, and I almost passed him up because he was dark skinned, a little rough. Oh, y'all, when I tell you I would have been out here working 3 jobs, I was with him. I'm telling you right now. Them niggas that care about themselves, they're gonna have you out here working 3 jobs just to fulfill what they need in their purpose in life.
Okay. And this is why I usually don't believe in absolutes because there's always exception to the rule. But in most instances, and of course, we're only hearing her side of the story, we don't know his side of the story. But the way that it seems is that he wasn't her type. And then after giving him a chance, was she psyched herself up to him now being her type, or the things that he was doing then made her fall in love with him or have strong feelings for him? Then it seems like their relationship is going in at least a direct positive direction. Because after listening to her video does not sound as negative as the white woman that was saying, oh, my guy is ugly. I have to take a drink before I see him in the morning. She didn't say that. Okay. She could barely see. And this is how you men and remember, most of us guys, we want sex in a relationship. If you get a woman that's not attracted to you at all, this is how you get into those sexless marriages. Okay. So this is why I don't want a woman to settle on me. I want her to be, maybe I'm not her dream guy, but she's attracted to me enough. And maybe she had experiences enough to grow inside and be like, okay, that wasn't working for me. This can work for me. Let me see. And then be like, wow, what was I doing my whole life? This is the way I should have went. This is how this woman sounds to me. I don't know how old she is. She doesn't sound too old, but I'm pretty sure she's probably mid to late 20s. If she's 30, she looks good 30. Now, the main turn off with her is she's using that N word. And I do not use that word. I would not date any nationality that's using that word. And so why would I date a black woman that's using that word? I'm strongly against using that word. If I'm not in a relationship with you, fine. Do whatever hell you want to do. But do not be calling me the NIGGA word or the ER. Both of them are bad to me. Of course, the ER word is worse, but the A word is just a coping mechanism. So, and I already did a video a long time ago about that particular thing. Let me digest this for a minute. So, okay, maybe in her case, it makes sense only because really her only thing was she usually goes for light skinned guys and now she went for a dark skinned guy. She didn't say that he was totally ugly or totally unattractive, just not the man that she would go for. And I know some people in the comment section were saying her being a colorist. But hey, let's be honest, okay? A lot of black dudes, dark skinned dudes like red bones, which is light skinned women, or white women or Latinas, and you can't tell me the color of their skin does not play a little bit of a thing with that. Me per se, I just got accustomed to dating different types of women that happen to be different types of color. If is a woman my skin tone that is exactly what I am looking for personality wise and physical wise, then maybe we can see where it goes. Anyway, I'm about to wrap this up. I got one more video by a woman that gets it. Not to say that this one is totally wrong right here, but one that gets how that white woman in the beginning was totally off base.
I still stand by the fact that my husband is the ugliest man that I have ever met 5 years into our marriage. If you are single right now, it's because you want to be attracted to your partner, and it's just not realistic.
Yeah, it is, if you have reasonable expectations in what you're looking for. This video is so heartless. What if he sees it? Does he know? You're taking that man away from someone who would genuinely find him attractive. And what happens when he gets dressed up for you? Do you tell him he looks good? Or does he get no compliments from you? Because any compliment would be a lie. Everyone deserves to be with someone that finds them attractive. They deserve to feel desired and wanted. The fact that you find your man ugly and you're willing to tell the world about it is absolutely disgusting. Not only is that embarrassing for him, but I can't even imagine how he would probably feel if he saw this. How would you feel if he made a video like this about you? He doesn't even have to be the most handsome man you've ever seen on the planet. You should be with someone you at least find attractive. This is just so messed up.
Oh my God, she gets it. She gets it. I do not know this creator's name. I've been seeing her on Facebook lately. I guess she's starting to blow up. And it's refreshing to hear that there are still some good white women out there besides Emily King and some of the other ones, Lady J, some of the other ones that I've gave shout outs to. That is the thing. If this was reversed, then the internet would be in an uproar. And look, if she would have said that my husband is not the most attractive guy, but he's my guy. He's the most attractive guy to me. If she was saying that stuff right there, then I would be like, okay, fine. But because she said that right there, and despite what the other woman said in the very beginning, the black woman, not the long-winded video, but the one where the woman was saying that she compliments her husband mostly in her video. I would say, yeah, maybe with the video is on but off, I'm pretty sure when they have arguments or disagreements, she says some mean things. I know my ex-wife would say some horrible things to me. And not to say that I would not say some things to her, but still would be some things that I would not go there. But she had no buffer. She would say whatever. Now, I see she's trying to be a better person now, but I only think it's because of this right here. Because I'm talking about this shit, this relationship stuff. And I should have talked about it during the relationship. Because either I would have been able to get out unscathed, or either maybe she might have changed. And not that with just her, with her changing, I would, because usually I'm like this. If I say something, then I put pressure on myself to do it. And I know a lot of people don't do that. They'll make false promises to people saying they'll pay somebody or they'll be there and things like of that sort. Me, when I say something, I that's my ninja way. I always try to keep my word because I feel like my word is bond. Even if I don't have a lot of money in my bank account, my word should still be gold. That's how I look at it most times. Now, the only time maybe I may not do it is if someone really pisses me off or they default on something that I needed from them, then I don't feel as bad not being there for them. Anyway, that's another conversation again. I agree with this woman here. And even men like Andrew Tate or some of the most meanest men, I rarely hear them come online and say, oh, okay, I picked this woman here. Look at her. She looks like, not to say those guys may not treat their woman badly behind closed doors or even amongst friends, but not online or not for the whole world to see. That's the frightening thing when women do this. And this is the thing that I believe, when you're not her type, she will treat you any kind of way and she will start disrespecting you. Now, maybe if you stand up for yourself, you can check her and get her to stop. But most of the time, if you are, okay, men usually work like this. We usually know where we are at in the looks department. And some of us may have insecurities with that. So a woman may call a man ugly and he may just take it because he's kind of like, well, yeah, I know I'm not that attractive either. I always been called ugly. So, and he may just absorb it. Okay. And that's something that he has to work through, unfortunately, because I know I had to work through it as I was getting older. But that is why I refuse again to be in a relationship that a woman is selling or thinking she's doing me a favor. And while she may appreciate the things that I am doing for her at first, because I'm not her first choice, because I'm not her soulmate or soul connection or whatever it is that she pits for the person that she really wants, she'll start treating me any kind of way, being disrespectful, doing things to either try to force me to break up with her. And that will go into high gear once we get married and once we have kids. So, because of that particular thing right there, women, they can do whatever they want to do as trying to reach back for men that they didn't like and all that other stuff. For men, if she ever told you that you are not her type, or, and I'm saying in context, not that maybe she dates white men and you're her first black guy or Indian guy or Asian guy or something. That's a little different. But when she says, you're usually, I date guys that are tall, or guys that have money, or guys that's not you, deep down in the core, stay far away from that woman because she will hurt you eventually. And while women can walk away from a long relationship, long as she hits the milestones, marriage, kids, and gets a security deposit, men, we don't get that. We lose time, we lose money, stress. That's why I believe Robin Williams offed himself 3 divorces. Okay, nobody never factors that in on top of whatever, maybe if he was doing drugs, but you can't tell me that didn't contribute into it. So do not settle on women that settle on you, and that's my message to the men out there. Give me a like and subscribe, and have a good night.
Being a man in this generation genuinely sounds like a nightmare, because the fact that there are women out here that are only marrying men because of what they provide for them is genuinely terrifying. I feel like women nowadays literally take men for what they give, instead of viewing the relationship as like a mutual sacrifice of love and like what marriage was intended to be. Being a man in this generation means that you have to invest hundreds of dollars on a woman just to see if you like her enough to make her your girlfriend, only to invest more money and more time and then even more money on a ring once you propose. It's like you can go through all of that and never find out that that woman does not love you and she's only with you for what you provide for her. And I feel like the majority of women in this generation are like convinced that men should be providing everything in a relationship, and I get it, like I totally understand it from one point, but like imagine being a man. And that's not to say that women don't also sacrifice their own fair share during the process, but like for the most part I think that women can pretty much be guaranteed that the man that they're with at least is attracted to them, like at least. I don't know, it's scary out here for both men and women nowadays.
If you miss this train,